Nothing on Facebook yet.
All right, we are live.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, here we go.
It's a
Happy,
Friday.
happy Friday. What a
Happy
hell
Good Friday.
a good Friday. That's
Yep.
right. Everybody celebrating Good Friday today. If you're not here, you're probably at church, which is, you know, not a bad.
Okay.
Wait, on a Friday?
Some
Yeah.
people. Some people go on
Oh, he's from
Fridays.
DC. You gotta explain to him.
Wait, he's starting to. It's too soon.
Let's
Relax. We ain't
It
started yet.
it's never too soon for the smoke, sir.
I see now.
see. All
All
right.
right. So as
So,
Jorge's dialing in all of our media feeds and different sources and whatnot, how's
so
everybody's Friday going?
Oh,
I'm glad the
get a
week's over.
whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Th-
been one of those weeks where I'm just glad it's over. It's the
yeah.
weekend. I'm not looking forward to Monday.
But
So
that's okay. Something happens in between today and Monday that we're all
Weekend.
super excited
The
about.
freaking weekend.
that
Yep.
is
The
right.
game, bro. The game.
Exactly. Here comes the shameless plug for SA Brahmas versus the Houston Roughnecks, or as I've been calling them, the Rubbernecks, our rematch and our victory game. This is going to be it this weekend.
And
We're gonna make it four in a row for their losses.
oh,
Yeah, they
absolutely.
did. They got three.
So I mean, so let's start with that. Let's talk about the Houston Roughnecks and San Antonio, and basically where we are now versus where we were. What was it? We played on week 2 or so.
Week 3.
Week three.
Week 3.
3.
So week 3, uh, people were saying that the Roughnecks were the team to beat. They hadn't lost since the pre-COVID days when we didn't exist. Um, yeah, now at the time, I was saying, hold on to your hard hats, Roughnecks, because look who your coach is. Your coach is known to collapse midway through the season. And what happened after week 5? They have been in a downward spiral, ultimately collapsing and making the South completely wide open for anybody to take over. I mean, we're at a point where the Brahmas could be tied for first if we win out and things other losses happen. Yeah, things have to happen, but the Brahmas coming out in first place is not out of the question. Which is, you know, for many people is crazy. They will probably say that I'm crazy for even saying that, but the fact of the matter is, it's true. We got
So,
Harry over here. Finally, I can see
oh, you can see it. Okay, okay.
yeah,
Hey.
from the Gulf of Mexico.
One of
What's
your long lost brothers.
I know he's out in the
Nice.
woods.
He probably from
He's
your
on.
hood.
From your hood.
Mhm.
From your neck of the woods.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I don't want to say no. Actually, I do want to say I was right.
He was right. He was right. You
Everybody
said
from
it.
Houston laughed at me. They said, I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm full of
Mhm.
BS. And sure enough, the Houston Roughnecks are in a downward spiral that does not seem to be ending. And they're coming to the Alamo Dome, where the rowdiest fan base is known to basically nest and expect to walk out with a win, which I don't think is going to be very easy task for them to do, given that their fans definitely don't travel. Like I said, my expectation legitimately is if I see 3 Roughneck fans, they met my expectations. If I see 4, they blew them out of the water. I really don't expect people to come from Houston. It's going to be a house full of Brahmas. Um, yeah, that's just not helping the team. That's not helping the Roughnecks in any way, shape, or form. Not that we want them to have any help, but that's essentially what they're walking into, and they know that. They know they're walking into hostile territory. They know that we're not happy and that we're ready to unleash some frustration at the football game on Easter Sunday.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys.
I
Oh no,
agree.
I'm making sure that I'm bringing my loudest friends with me to be that home field advantage, right? We've talked about how I take immense pleasure in being as annoying to the opponent as I possibly can. Getting coaches mad at me, getting players mad at me. Like, that's what I live for every Sunday or Saturday, depending on the game. But I hand chose some of the rowdiest people I could find to make sure that they're there at this game. So we're giving everything that we can. Now, we said it on our first show that we're calling on all the San Antonio fans, all the San Antonio fans that are on the fence about this team, all the San Antonio fans that don't like what is going on with the team right now. If you call yourself a fan of this team, you need to be there at the game. Make sure, though, that you're bringing that passion, that energy. If you don't like what's going on, make sure that you're loud and rowdy so that you can help the team do a little bit better. If you don't really care, you're still going to stand by this team no matter what. Bring that energy, right? We need our house packed. Again, we've talked about like our differences with our fan base versus, you know, the largest fan base that we can find, St. Louis. And I've already told you guys, our 24 was louder than their 38. Our 15 was easily as loud as their 38, if not louder. We can make some noise, but we need you people there. We need you people supporting this team. We need you people going out there and blowing your voices out. You don't need to talk on Monday, right? Send emails, right? Send texts. Don't talk to people. Blow your voice out. Drink some tea with honey and lemon on Monday. You'll be fine, okay? But put it all out there on the field because you know our players are out there doing the exact same thing. They want this win just as badly as we do, if not more.
And they've already said, you know, they feed off of our energy. So if we go in there dead and quiet, like I'm going to say like Las Vegas, they have no energy to feed off of. They really depend on us as fans to give them that hype. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is professional football in San Antonio. We've been waiting for this. We've been asking for this. We have use of the Alamo Dome. Now let's make it a weapon. You know, it's time for a weapon. Mm-hmm. It is. I don't know. I'm excited. There's a reason that I put $50 down for them to win the championship, and I still truly believe it. That we have a big chance to make it to the championship, despite all of our offensive woes. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback on Sunday. I don't know who all's going to be on the field on offense on Sunday, whether it's Jack Cohn, whether it's Paxton Lynch, whether it's Jawan Pass. I don't care who it is. They're going to have my full support. I'm glad to hear that Jack Cohn seems to have recovered from his injury because nobody likes being injured. And nobody likes to see anybody having to deal with an injury. So that is one message that I do want to send to the fans. I know we have had history with the play of our dear quarterback, Jack Cohn, and hasn't gone as great as we had hoped. But all I ask is that give him a chance. You know, we know that there are issues that extend beyond the play of the quarterback, obviously, offensive line, and other things, but give the guy a chance. Like, don't just rule him out because he had a couple bad games 3 weeks ago. And you know, that's it. The guys who have been in there now are no longer available to us. Kurt Benkert, he's out for the season. Reed Sinnett, out for the season. Jawan Pass, I don't think he's going to be in there. So we'll see. We'll see. I like Phillips' comment here is that his bet is Cohn starts and Lynch gets a few series. I agree with that.
I agree.
I don't think Lynch is going to be the primary starter only because he hasn't had time to learn the playbook. He's been with the team for less than a week, and we'd be looking at a Kurt Benkert situation where, you know, you're expecting him to go out there and perform with no preparation, no chemistry, and having moved 2 floors up on the hotel. So,
so let's roll into that, right? You're saying we're looking at a Kurt Benkert situation. Last week, Benkert had himself a game, right? He went 22-31, 179 yards. Granted, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but those are pretty good numbers. If Lynch could come in and do that and tag team with Cone for another 150, 160 yards, I think we got ourselves a real chance at a real offensive showing on our side.
Yeah.
So
I mean, from what Kirk's saying, it's not a tough offense to learn. So that's another thing too. You know, Kirk ain't had that many days to get out there and get comfortable. But I mean, I don't think it's from what they saying, I don't think it's a tough offense to learn. So it shouldn't take long for him to adjust. But I think if Jack Cohn is healthy, then more than likely he's going to be the one that's starting. But I mean, this is a big game for us, man, because we 0-2 in the dome, and Houston is 1-2 in away. So an away game. So I mean, it's all. I mean, last time we played them, we played it real close. I mean, other than that goal line stand, I think we could have definitely took that game away. But I mean, it's just going to come down to who won it.
Yeah,
And
the defense.
this is our last time. I think if Houston win, they clinch. So this is our last time.
Houston, they absolutely, they showed weaknesses against us back in week 3. And I think if our defense shows up unlike the way that they didn't do last week in Vegas, then we have a real shot at taking the W in this one. Now touching on what you guys said about this offense being easy to learn, that is on purpose. I want you guys to know that. Everybody out there listening, it is on purpose that this offense is easy to learn because we have had multiple injuries, as you all know, to the offensive line, to our running backs, to our receivers, obviously our quarterbacks. We have not had a consistent offensive presence all season long. So, as I've mentioned in the past, you cannot run complex offensive schemes when your players are coming in and out like a turnstile because of injury. They have to learn the playbook, but it's not just learning the playbook. You have to get the timing right, the repetitions right. And there's just a lot that goes into it, especially from an offensive line perspective. Timing is everything when it comes to blocking for run blocking. And when you want to run those traps, when you want to run those counters, when you want to run reverses, all of it comes down to timing. And you cannot get that timing down if your offensive line or one of your linemen is playing for the first time in 3 weeks, So that is something that is important to remember as to when you see a bunch of draws up the middle, and a bunch of simple passes, there's a reason for that. And it's because our players need a chance to learn and get chemistry. So it may be an easy offense to read, sure, but there's a method to the madness. And ultimately it's going to come down to execution.
Well, and I think there also needs to be, addressed not from a negative standpoint, but the need for leadership, right? We need quarterbacks that are going to step in and lead the team, right? Cone is a great guy. From what I've seen, he definitely can lead the team, but we need that dynamic presence to let the troops know in the middle of the fight, when you're in the trenches, hey, this looks bad, but you know what? I believe in you guys. I believe in us. I believe in our chances. We're going to win this game. That is going to be
smile on the sidelines, man.
Yeah.
He don't talk to his players. Like, I'm like, what? And then Reed Senate, he was doing everything. Like, everybody was like, it's a crazy change.
Yeah.
And again, not trying to bash Cone in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to say that the team needs that leadership presence on the field, just like they do on the sidelines. You guys see how passionate Ward is about the game. You see how excited he gets about everything. You see how mad he gets when a penalty does not get called. We saw him go off in Arlington. It was crazy. I'm sure he was just stomping mad in Vegas. But we need that leadership. We need that fire. We need that passion on the field also. And so I'm hopeful that now that Cone has seen some of these things, that natural leadership ability that he does have, that we've seen, in some of his college days, kind of really kicks into overdrive and really starts becoming infectious for the team. The players, they know that the quarterback is out there fighting for them, believing in them, pushing them. They're going to push themselves, and they're going to do absolutely everything they can in their power to make sure that the team is successful at the end of the day.
Yeah, I also think just as fans also that we should be lifting him up also. The last game that he played, when he walked out, he was booed by us, by his own people.
By you.
So how do we not by me. I did not. My heart was broken. I was like, "Oh man." Like I could only imagine him running in and being like, he not only has an uphill battle with his team, but with us, his own people, and
you're right.
and him coming into this next game, I just feel like us as fans need to do something different for him. How is he supposed to pump up his players and get in a mindset when we're so negative to him? We just don't give him a shot.
Exactly.
So,
No, you guys are right about that. And, one of the things that really broke my heart was when I'm in section 108 there in the Alamo Dome. So I'm right where they come in and out of that tunnel. And the last time he played in the Alamo Dome, one of the things that a fan from my section yelled out that was he heard it. Cone, you suck. And I mean, nobody likes hearing that, regardless of how good, especially when you haven't played to your potential. Nobody likes hearing that. So that's kind of a good segue into kind of what is going to be happening around town. There's going to be multiple player appearances all around. Jack Cone and a couple of other defensive players are going to be at Dick's Sporting Goods tomorrow. And they, I know people have feelings about him being there, but if we show up and show him that we still got your back, man, we're glad that you're back. We're glad that you're off of injured reserve and you're back on the field, and show him that we still support him as a community, rather than going and shaking everybody's hands and just looking at him like, nah, I'm good, man. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way we do it in San Antonio. He's still one of us. His jersey still says San Antonio. And as long as it does, I'm going to cheer for him. Same thing for Paxton Lynch. His jersey may have said Orlando last week, but this week it says San Antonio. So he's one of us now. And he has my full support. And so that's something that, as you guys go out, and if you are going to be going out to these meet and greet events this weekend, just make sure to show that love and support for the players, and don't be afraid to tell them, hey man, we got your back. We believe in you, because they like hearing that. They're not just there to sign autographs. They want to see the community that they also want to be a part of. They don't like being in Arlington. They don't like living in hotels. I sure as heck wouldn't, especially in the wonderful metropolis that is Arlington, Texas.
Nobody likes living in Arlington, period.
Exactly.
And kill me.
I'm just saying that go out there, show them that, hey, we still got you. We're here for you, and we will see you on Sunday. We're going to spend our Easter Sunday with you, and we hope that you can get us a win. Now, I have a fan question here that I want to get each person's perspective.
Kaya, right? You can hit Kaya first.
Right here. What are your favorite?
Go ahead, Jackie.
Or
oh dang. Okay. Oh yeah. I guess ladies first, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna lie. I think my favorite moment was in Arlington while we were physically there as a group. And when they made their touchdown and they came running right back to us, like I felt what they felt like if I was running on the field with them and making a touchdown. Like it was just so much fun celebrating with them. So I think that has to be like my top moment, is when they came back to celebrate with us. Look at here, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's
8:22
Cheers.
Wow.
Cheers.
Sorry.
Cheers.
I'm old. I'm not that exciting.
So, all right, Jason, what about you? What's your favorite moment?
Man, I'm going to be honest. I can't pin it down to just one moment, right? I would say it comes down to a couple of different things, right? First of all, our first tailgate was incredible. It reminded me of the Commanders days. I know this is not the Commanders, but I think capturing some of that energy was very important. And I think San Antonio did a great job doing that, right? Parking lot B, parking lot C, man, they were bumping, right? We went out early because we did the on-field fan experience, and I feel like I lost out by going and doing that because I could have been having way more fun on the field. Um, Amanda, one of our friends from St. Louis, commented here that her favorite moment was when she came to the tailgate, right? Meeting Dirty, meeting Amanda, meeting all these people that we've been interacting with for what, 2-3 months before the season even started. And then to actually get to meet everybody face to face, and that bond was just instantly there. That by far was that was an incredible experience for me. The other experience I would say, oh, somebody's calling me out on how wild I get in the front row. But that's part of it, right? Being able to take all that passion for the team and dump it out there, right? That's an exciting moment. I would say though, tagging off of what Jackie said, right? The scoop score was phenomenal. Having the team come over, and then at the very end, having Ward come all the way across the field just to come and see us and say thank you for supporting us. That was just incredible. And I might have stepped on a few people's feet just to dab them up a little bit, you know.
It was my foot.
Yeah, it was. That's why I was saying. But I wasn't going to admit that on live air.
I'll call you out. Don't worry.
I'm gonna say for me it was the
Showing
first
up
game, man.
tailgates.
I mean, I'm gonna be there, man. I'm gonna try to get there early, man. But for me, man, it was
I'll believe it when I see it.
okay, everybody tackle me. Come on. But I think it was the first game, man, because the atmosphere was crazy. Yes, we had 24K there, but it just felt electric. And I tell people like that was the XFL games. Yes, it's not on NFL level, like as far as attendance and them being around for so long, but XFL games, whether it's here in San Antonio or in DC, because I've been to the DC games before, but the atmosphere, man, at those games is insane. Like they don't touch. I've been to college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, soccer. Like the atmosphere in XFL games is like it's untouchable, and it's hard to explain. But I had to explain it to a lot of people, and I'm just like, you got to get. If you go, you'll understand. But they've been, and they was like, oh yeah, I could see myself going again. But definitely the first game for me, that was my favorite moment. Being in the what's the bullpen. So meeting people, Kenneth with the beard, with the black and yellow gold beard. Some other people I haven't seen since the first game, but it was just like everybody just, we all just love football. So we all there for one reason and one reason only. So, I mean, the atmosphere was crazy, man. So that was my favorite.
And for me, I'm kind of like Jason. I really can't pin it down. I've had so many moments this entire season. The fact that this entire season up to this point has been life changing for me personally. I have become a recognized figure. The mayor has acknowledged me, both Mr. Mayor of the XFL and Mayor Ron Nuremberg of San Antonio. Um, I have met multiple league officials, team officials. I have met fans from across the country. And they know the legend of El Mariachi Brahma because I like to run my mouth, as you guys already know. But the fact that I'm able to meet all of you, take pictures with all of you, anyone who sees me out there, please do not be shy. Like I enjoy, that's why I dress up the way that I dress up. I enjoy interacting with people. And I can tell you right now, what you see today, what you see me wearing today, it's going to be upgraded to a whole nother level next year because I just finished paying off the new custom suit that I'm getting made that will have a lot of this on there, not just black and gold colors like the one that I have now. It's going to be a whole new suit. So I mean, enjoying like going to Arlington, going to Vegas, going to Houston, meeting the fans, interacting with their fans, coming out on social media, doing promos with the Brahmas. Like this really has been a life changing experience for me. And as a kid who grew up with dreams of playing professional football one day and being told Mexicans don't play football or this is the wrong kind of football that you're playing, and being able to feel included and involved in this organization, um, it really makes it me feel and believe and buy in, that the whole player 54 thing where, you know, there's you have that one little bit that's just holding you back, and you just need the right opportunity to be seen. And for me it was the Brahmas. I can't thank them enough for the kindness and the hospitality that they've always shown me, and especially the fans in the community, how well they've taken to me and allowing me to represent all of you in my travels as I go out into other enemy territory stadiums, and people know who I am. So there really isn't one specific moment that I can say is my favorite, other than this entire ride has been an amazing journey for me, and I'm looking forward to finally having a homestand, especially with two Saturday games coming up. So, yeah.
Hey, real quick, Jorge, while we switch to Mike Tacklett's question, uh, now might not be a bad time for a shameless plug for a certain event coming up.
And which event would that be?
Uh, Something about sangre.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Speaking of,
How'd the white guy
uh,
know that?
I didn't want to. I didn't know
You
when I was
said
going
it
to
very
plug
well.
it, but thank you for giving me the opportunity. So, everybody, next week, as you know, it's our first Saturday game. It is against Orlando, and this is an official collaboration that I was honored to do with the Brahmas and the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. Where if you go and register at southtexasblood.org/SA challenge, you sign up, go and donate blood. You'll get a gigantic Fiesta. I'm not kidding. The Fiesta medal is this big. Um, and you will get one of those, and you'll be entered for a chance to win a pair of Brahmas tickets to the game versus Orlando, which is a Saturday game, which is going to be a game that, depending on the outcome of this week, especially if we get the win, that's going to be a very heavily attended game.
Mhm.
Because it's Saturday, it's our very first Saturday game at home. So schedule finally allows for people to show up and not have to worry about going to work the next day. We're
Yeah.
not playing at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. And so that is something that, I'm really looking forward to, just and invite everybody, do some good in the community, donate blood, because Fiesta season is upon us. And if you didn't know that, um, whenever Fiesta happens, the donations of blood drop, obviously, because people have other things going on in their lives during Fiesta. So we want to make sure that we stock up on blood with the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center now, so that when Fiesta comes and there's a need for blood, we're not facing another shortage. So
Right.
definitely go out there, use that link, southtexasblood.org/SA challenge, and yeah, sign up and get me get yourself a chance to win some tickets. And
Yep.
I personally really enjoyed working with them because, fun fact, I actually helped build that website that they have, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, with a local web development agency that I used to work
Cool.
for here in San Antonio. It was my first job. They gave me my chance in tech, and so plug to web development and doing a hell of a job making a good website for them. And yeah, it's it's a very personal cause for me, especially because I have personal ties to that website and that organization. So
Yep.
yeah, go out there, donate blood, and come out and hang out with us on Saturday, next Saturday. But before we get to next Saturday, we got to make sure we got to get through this Sunday first.
Yep. Roll up them sleeves, San Antonio. Donate.
All right, so we got a question here from Mike. So, did the AAF hurt the XFL's San Antonio, Orlando fan bases as well as the USFL's Birmingham and Memphis fan bases? Pending Memphis, those cities had better numbers in the AAF than what they're getting now. So,
Yes
I'll,
and no.
Interesting question.
I'll kind of tackle this one first. So, I think that the AAF did hurt. I can't speak to Orlando and the other fan bases, but I can definitely speak to San Antonio. It did hurt San Antonio a little bit initially, and as the season has gone on, because there's that doubt, there's that hesitation that we're not going to come back. We're not, this is one and done
Mhm.
again. But the AAF was poorly ran from top to bottom. I mean, from the league level all the way down. And at this point, we've already confirmed that there's going to be a season 2 of the XFL. So San Antonio's not going anywhere. We're not flirting with Austin like another San Antonio organization is. This is our team. This is our city. And so I think people are starting to figure that out, that, hey, this is going to be around for a while. And so that is why I am proud to say that tomorrow at 11, I will be getting a Brahmas tattoo that will forever cement me a San Antonio. Even if this organization, if this league goes under in 10 years, I will forever be branded a Brahma, just like a Brahma bull would be. So that tattoo will be available and on display on Sunday.
Where,
Or,
where are you going, Jorge?
so I have a guy who it's a cuddle bone tattoo. His name's John Smith. He's the one who did this tattoo for me, my favorite tattoo. So I said if I'm gonna be doing the Brahmas tattoo, I want him to do it. And so what that's going to be is the horns that you see on the helmet coming wrapped around my left arm here, because I don't have anything on this arm. On the tips of one of the horns, there will be a sombrero with a serape cloth draped off of it.
Nice.
I'll
Nice.
put my little signature on there.
Well, I definitely interested in learning a little bit more about this. I can't do left arm. I've got a huge shoulder cap here. I don't wear short sleeves to show anybody my tats, but definitely want to talk about that. So, let's see, Jackie, why don't you talk to us about AAF and how it impacted the fan base?
Well, I can't talk to it because I don't know the fan base for AAF.
Okay, moving on. No, I'm kidding.
Next person, please.
Yeah. So I mean, the question, like I said, yes and no. Like I answered yes and no. So what Jorge said, yeah. I mean, the league folded, so a lot of fans felt like, oh well, I don't want to go and invest my time and money into another league when the one we just had folded. So Orlando had the second best attendance in the AAF as well. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. Yes, the XFL did spend rumored was 120,000 on marketing, which is not a lot. So we kind of knew coming into the season that we wasn't going to expect a lot of high attendance and high eyes and views and all that stuff. So whereas XFL 2020, they dropped a load on marketing. Like it was, I mean, everybody knew about that. So, and also you got to think too, we can't really compare both because it's not the same. It's not the same. Ran by two totally different companies and different visions on what they looking for and what they expect in the future. Whereas the XFL this year's XFL 2023, they are looking at the long run. So I mean, obviously they're not dropping all the bag right now, and they trying to expand it so that way they can come back for another season and another season. Yes, you said season 2 is already confirmed. So But yeah, man, it's two totally different times we'll be living in. Where back then, people was probably hungry for spring football. Where now, as all these failed leagues, as we say, now you're looking at it, trying to start another league. Well, not start another league, but restart another league from 2020, whereas XFL 2023 fans are probably like, I don't really want to invest my time into that. But you got the hardcore fans like us, or the people in the group, or XFL fans all around that's sticking around, and they they with us for the long haul. So
So as a season ticket holder with the Commanders, I can definitely put my 2 cents worth in on that. I think that the way the AAF did these fan bases does have an effect on it, but I don't think that's the ultimate thing that's holding back the fan base, right? Some of it is marketing. Some of it is just general malaise, if you will. People just aren't really that excited right now because we're kind of in a crazy time, right? We've got the XFL in full swing. Some people are excited about the USFL, and some people are just generally kind of just disconnected from football right now. I think pretty much all the hardcore fans from those previous leagues are plugged in, and they're just kind of waiting to see how things are going to pan out. Now, I will say, I think for San Antonio anyways, right, we know that losing the Commanders was kind of a big deal, and there's a lot of people that are gun shy. We also know that the fan base here, though, has a tendency to be a little bit fickle and kind of expect perfection right off the bat. And I'm not knocking anybody in San Antonio. Please understand my comments. I'm just saying that we have a tendency, because we've been so spoiled for so long with excellence, that we just expect everything coming in to be excellent also. And so I think there's other things outside that are hurting kind of our attendance numbers and things like that. However, I don't think that ultimately that's really what is kind of holding the fans back from flooding the Alamo Dome and filling it with 38,000 people, 40,000 people, things like that. I think right now is just a crazy time for everybody. With a lot of, let's be honest, right? Everybody's experiencing some kind of financial hardship. A gallon of milk costs like $2,000 now, basically. So people don't really necessarily have the the discretionary funds to be able to spend a lot of money on these tickets and stuff. We'll get to that comment in a bit, folks.
Oh
that
my
one's funny.
gosh.
Golly, so now everybody about to just jump on. Go ahead, man.
Ask him
Love
about that
it.
basement.
Yes. But depending on how things go here in the next few weeks, right, there's a humongous race in the South to get to that first playoff spot, right? And there's huge hurdles that San Antonio has to overcome, but there's some pretty big hurdles that Orlando has to overcome also. And now that they've got a little bit of steam behind them, right, that's going to make it very interesting, just as a fan of football, to watch how that all plays out. So I really think that is going to help build some steam for all the fan bases, at least in the XFL South, right? People are going to start coming out to games a little bit more often. I'm definitely interested to see what happens in Houston when the USFL finally does kick off, and then they've got 2 leagues with 2 teams competing for attention. So Houston may actually lose some numbers. It'll be interesting, though, to see how that plays out. But yes, for us, I think that the AAF did leave a bad taste in people's mouths, and people are a little bit gun shy. But I think the times are kind of hard right now too. Now, going back to the USFL side, I really think their business plan is what's holding them back, right? Having the host cities versus actually having the home cities.
Yep.
The XFL's host city, all the practices, everything all being done in Arlington is unique. We've never seen that happen before. I'm sure that might be holding people back a little bit also, because right, they're our team, but they don't practice here, they don't play here, they're not fully invested here. Season 2 is going to be a completely different story, right? Everybody should be home in their home cities.
Should be.
gives us more exposure to the players, which
You
gives us
might get a
more.
hub again. Honestly, you might get a hub
And
again.
and if they
Mhm.
do a hub, that's cool. Again, these are people that are running a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, they're 7 steps ahead of what we could see. I mean, I'm sure Danny the Rock, Redbird Capital has, mapped all these things out, whereas Ebersol didn't, right? Ebersol
Mhm.
tried to rush his product because he tried to beat XFL out of the gate, didn't have his financing in order, didn't have his numbers anywhere near what they needed to be, and then had to go scrambling, basically a fire sale, to get somebody to jump in who wanted ultimate control. I know we talked about that before, but that guy wanted ultimate control, and when he couldn't get it, that's when he scrapped the whole league. This is a completely different format, right? If Danny and Dwayne get mad and decide, you know what, we don't want anything to do with this, we still got Redbird Capital. We still have all those business deals on the books, locked in, right? The TV coverage, the facilities that we're using, the places that we're going to be playing. Those things are locked in for the next 3 years. XFL, barring some kind of disastrous, unfortunate miracle, we're going to have football for at least the next 3 years, hopefully 5. And then that's, they're going to start looking probably year 3 to
Try to
start.
franchise.
Yeah. Well, to expand franchise, start selling off some of these teams so they can look at putting more facilities in other cities, right? Such as like your Salt Lake cities,
San Diego.
Thank you. Exactly. We've got a lot of people throwing in comments right there. There's a ton of business behind the scenes that nobody sees that is making this a reality, right? AAF did not have half of the things in place, right? They've still got vendors to this day that have not been paid yet. That I know of, XFL, every bill is paid up to full. We're good to go next 3 years. So yeah, ultimately, I think it's the times that are hurting it, probably as much or more than the AAF and those host cities from the original AAF teams.
Yeah,
And you got
I could say that I've seen a lot of hurt San Antonio fans when the XFL, AAF left.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of hurt San Antonio. Yeah, you see. So
I wasn't even a season ticket holder, and I just loved going to the games, and I loved the Commander's Ale that came out. I drank a lot of that, and then this came out, and so you always will see me walking around with one of these in my hands at the tailgates, yeah, it's just one of those things that it hurt. I mean, it honestly hurt. I was so behind. I still have my Commander's hat, my Commander's shirt. And losing them hurt. But I mean, a lot of people that invested money into them as businesses, large corporations, when they filed for bankruptcy, they're SOL. I mean, they're not getting their money back, as did the season ticket holders. They didn't get their money back.
Yep.
I remember there was people that placed orders trying to get in on the fire sale at the very end that never got their products. And they just kind of dumped the money into a black hole and never saw it again. So that's, unfortunate. And that's, I think, part of something that, people were hesitant and are still hesitant. But I think going into next season and having a full off season to plan things out,
that's
to
key.
plan a marketing attack, that is going to be key. And, I see a lot of people saying that, the AAF and other leagues went, all the way hard going to marketing and getting the word out there. But, when you go back to what The Rock and Danny Garcia and Jerry Cardinal said at the very beginning, is that we think that the problem with those spring leagues is that they went 100 miles per hour right out of the gate, and they weren't thinking long term. They always wanted the product out. Whereas these guys are thinking, no, we want the product to stay consistent and it will grow. And I think they're real smart in doing that, because the Major League Soccer is a very good example of what happens when you're patient and you keep at it. Because Major League Soccer had much worse attendance than what the XFL has now back in the 90s. And this is right after the World Cup happened in the U.S. But they were mocked by the world because they had different rules. They were mocked by, a bunch of different international players, because it's like, Americans playing soccer, like, that's not going to happen. And then now
you see cities getting mad, getting shafted like San Antonio, because we didn't get a Major League Soccer franchise, and those franchises are selling for hundreds of millions of dollars now. And there was a point in time around 2000 to 2005 when the financial stability of the league was in question, and we didn't know if we were going to have Major League Soccer anymore. And so I think they're taking that Major League Soccer approach where, yes, right now it may look a little bit like a joke. It may look a little bit like, this isn't going to last, that where is this going to happen? But if they keep growing and growing little by little, I mean, Major League Soccer started with I think 10 teams or so, and now they're up to, I believe, 23, and they started in 96, over 20 years to get to that point, and they're still looking at growing. And so I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to see expansion little by little, and it's not ever going to be anything that's going to compete with the NFL. I don't ever think the XFL is going to be a direct competitor of the NFL. I think they know their place. They know, stay in their lane. We're going to feed players to the NFL. We're going to, make sure we get players to the NFL. But that's the end goal. They're the king, and I think as long as they try to keep that mentality, as we're not trying to take on the people who have been around for 100+ years and have billions of dollars in reserve, we're trying to help them out, then we're going to be around to stay. And yeah, we may be seen as like a minor league, but in places like San Antonio that doesn't have a football team, we are major league. This is professional football. These are athletes who are getting paid to play the game that they love. And I think other places that we'll see expand to would be San Diego. I remember when they had the Fleet, they had a really good following. And then, Salt Lake, although they didn't have as great of a turnout in the AAF, I personally, having lived there, I know the passion that community has for professional football, and how much they want it. So I think they're another football-starved area that could be well served by the XFL. But one thing to also keep in mind is that we got to get through these first 5 years first. And expansion, as great as it would be to see, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's make sure we get our feet under us, and then we expand. Then we know, once we have a 5-year plan and we've accomplished it, all right, let's see how we can grow this beast. Let's see how we can go into other markets and march in. And who knows, maybe the USFL might not make it. I personally do not think that they are going to last much longer because of their hub city approach. Because if I'm a Houston Gamblers fan that lives in Houston, I'm sorry, I am not going to go to Memphis to watch my team play a home game. If this was a San Antonio team and I had to drive to Albuquerque, New Mexico to go watch a home game, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not, that's not my team. They're not here.
Right.
So I think the way the XFL did it is smart by at least coming to the communities to play in front of the fans that they're representing, even though they're based out of Arlington.
All right.
Yeah, I feel also I'm just a newbie coming into it. I was just NFL most of the time, so this is me putting everything in the XFL. So I hope I never experience heartbreak like you guys, because I'd be devastated if the Brahmas left. You know how it took me hours for my horns. I would just be so sad. So I'm still coming into this as a new fan, and just enjoying the ride, whether it's up or down for our Brahmas.
So I'm going to jump in here, being, the oldest guy on the panel here. I've seen teams come and go in San Antonio, right? Losing the Commanders was very personally heartbreaking, but I've seen, the losing the Riders, the Force, the Talons, right? I had season tickets all 3 seasons for the Talons. I even went so far as to drive to New Orleans to watch their final game that I knew at the time was going to be their final game ever, because I knew the league, that team was going to fold. But I've seen teams come, I've seen teams go. I felt the heartbreak every single time. And like most of the diehards here in the city, I pick my heart up, I brush it off, I put it back in, and I wait for the next experience, right? If we lose the Brahmas, God forbid, knock on wood, whatever superstitious thing you want to do, it would absolutely suck. But I would be just as passionate for the next thing that comes around, because I'm, as much as I'm focused on the product on the field, I'm just as focused on the product off the field. For people that have never met before, here we are on a panel doing a podcast about this team because we love it so much, right? We did the same thing with the Commanders. Probably didn't do that for, the Talons or anything. I don't know that podcasts were such a big thing back then. But again, right, it's the passion. It's what brings people together. That's the thing that really excites me about this league in particular, because as much fun as the Commanders games were, and as rowdy as I am, I mean, you guys know me, we have that same, if not better, energy on our tailgates. Plus, it's also not like -12 outside when we're trying to grill burgers and stuff.
Right.
So that makes a bit of a difference too. But again, right, that passion is here in cities like San Antonio, Salt Lake. I would even be willing to argue maybe even El Paso or Albuquerque, right? But those are future plans. Like,
Right.
let's get through at least 3 years before we even start thinking about sending out feelers to see, how the teams are doing in their host cities. If any moves need to be made, or if we can start talking about expansion, right? So,
And it's funny that you say that you had season tickets to the Talons, because if you were this close to watching me play for them. When I was living in Salt Lake City, I had aspirations to try out for the Utah Blaze, who played in the same league as the Talons.
I'll be right back.
And when it came time to try out, I spent a year bulking up to playing weight. I finished college weighing, this is when I was fresh out of college too. I finished college weighing about 235 pounds. I spent a year bulking up to about 270 pounds because I wanted to play football. I knew I wanted to do that, and the Blaze was my way to kind of do it. And comes time for when I thought was going to be the tryouts, the open tryouts that they have, they folded. So, I'm like, what the heck? What do I do? I just gained all this weight for nothing. And I was told, like, well, San Antonio has a team, and I knew that I wanted to move to San Antonio at some point in the near future, just because Salt Lake wasn't the place for me to live long term. So they're like, well, let's put you in touch with the people from San Antonio. And then the league folded. And so for me, that was a sign that my football playing days were over. Like I was not meant to play football anymore. And so, yeah, I mean, I can understand, the heartbreak, because that I faced that as a player, who had almost had the opportunity to play, and never got that second chance and prove what I've been trying to prove, that, yeah, Hispanics, Mexicans, we can play football. I don't care what league, what level, what it is, but we can play. And, when the Commanders were gone, it hurt, because I put a lot of myself and a lot of excitement into that, and it was just yanked away from me. So, but I honestly think the XFL is here to stay.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Jay?
Real quick,
I
Shane.
know he went and got something for show and
Super
tell.
fan, super fan, right?
He said show and tell.
Vintage.
Show and tell, right? But right, that's Commanders. Jorge and Jackie, you guys will probably love this one even more.
Is that
It's backwards.
Robert Quiroga of the San Antonio Talons. Okay, got his.
Dang.
Why would they love that the most?
Well, because that's
DJ always
Hispanic
needed an explanation.
person breaking
I thought, hey,
into
that's me.
those
That's me.
areas, right? A game that's predominantly dominated by specific races, if you will. Seeing a
African
Hispanic
American.
person, African
There you go.
American.
There you go.
But to see, a Hispanic male breaking into those things, right? Jorge having tried out for the team and then it falling apart, right? I've actually met Robert. I got to sit with his parents at that New Orleans game I told you guys about, because I'm the only guy there in their Smoothie King Stadium or whatever it was called at the time. I'm wearing their son's jersey, and they were like, "Oh, we got to go talk to that guy," right? And I was just as loud and rowdy then. And I've met Robert Q. He was actually doing the announcing on YouTube for the games for the San Antonio Gunslingers. And as soon as he saw the jersey, he was like, "Oh, that's my jersey, man!" Right? But that heartbreak, right? I've been through the loss of all of these things, and when I first heard about the team, I was super excited. Then I heard the name. Not gonna lie, I was one of the ones that was like, "Man, that name is horrible." Right? We're not MacArthur.
No, you was all over it.
Oh,
He ain't like
I
the
was-
name. He ain't like the name. He ain't like the
I
colors.
was
He ain't like the
bad.
logo. Nothing.
I was bad. But where am I?
Negative Nancy.
Yeah, you there. You got the logo on.
Right here. Right
You
here.
got the hat on with the name.
Yep.
There you go.
The league doesn't want to produce like super incredible merchandise. Well, I mean, we'll find it ourselves, but I'm still going to support. I'm still going to buy stuff. This came from the season ticket holder pack,
which I can never get, and they never
Yeah,
refilled it.
always sold
I'm on a
out.
waiting list.
I gave most of the stuff to my kids so they could take it to their schools and wear it there and promote for the team. Just by wearing the
crazy.
hat.
They still have other teams. I think I saw earlier today. They still got Houston. I think Seattle, DC, and another team. The season ticket little package.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow. I guess San Antonio sold out, huh?
Yeah.
I was trying to get one.
Twice.
I just wanted the shirt, man. I ain't want to know. So
Yes, I'm gonna have to do it myself just so I could show it.
Jorge, edit that part out.
We don't condone bootleg merchandise.
No, we do not.
That's why we wear authentic XFL licensed gear on
right
this
here.
podcast.
No ghetto gear.
Sticker too, okay,
but the league doing good though, man. I'm good with where they at right now. A lot of people keep forgetting that. Yes, the attendance haven't been like skyrocketing or anything like that, or the views, right? But you got to look at the competition. Like you got to look at the competition. They are like top 50 out of all the time slots. I think I got 150 shows or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I think last weekend they was like I think they was like first on ESPN2 they was number one. And they had 371,000 views. That was number one. Mm-hmm. And then on FX, which is not a football or not a sports channel, it was second right behind Snowfall. Snowfall is like the big show on FX, but they right behind Snowfall. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that says a lot. People got to remember that too. Like, you got to look at everything. They doing good against the competition. Yes, March Madness was killing, but right now, it's the back end of the schedule, and it's a lot of games that's going to be on ESPN, ABC. So we're going to get all those regular channels. I don't know what they call it. Was it broadcast channels? The ABC and the ESPN. So, I mean, we should be good, though. I think we'll get probably like 1 million. There's nothing else on. And then the time slots are good. I think somebody commented earlier was talking about the scheduling is probably what, the biggest downfall right now. But yes,
I heard it's the most.
Yeah. But we mean like coming forward, we're going forward. We got like 2 games on Saturday. I mean, it's getting consistent. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. And they good times. Like one, I think it's at 12, and the other one's at 4, and the other one's on the other time. Like it's in the middle of the day, and then the second game is after that. So they getting the scheduling is getting better. But we getting there, man. It's not bad. I mean, we good.
And I think honestly, next season, the networks are going to look at, what was done this past season, how things have grown. They're obviously going to want certain teams and certain time slots that have a high rating. Honestly, I completely understand where people are coming from when they say this. watching San Antonio games can be a little bit of a snooze fest because it's a defensive battle and you're not seeing the points get lit up on the scoreboard. But they are one of the highest rated teams on TV whenever their games are on. So I do expect there to be a good audience because it's not just San Antonio, but the influence of the Brahmas reaches all of South Texas, which is football stars, because the closest team that markets to them is the Dallas Cowboys. But I can tell you from experience, being from the Rio Grande Valley, 95% of the people from the Dallas-Fort Worth area will think that that's in California. And they don't know where the Rio Grande Valley is. And so this South Texas, from San Antonio to Laredo to Corpus to the Valley and all of northern Mexico, they are football starved. And that's another thing that I want to also mention. Northern Mexico is prime market for the Brahmas to take next season. You know, if we get our marketing down right and start putting some stuff out in Spanish, Monterrey is.
They got Deportes though. What's it? Deportes, the
ESPN Deportes.
Yeah.
But that's in the U.S. Now the thing is that.
So how you get to Mexico though? That's the question.
Social media. You start getting people
on
social media.
That's how you get
I have tried.
You got to go down there. You got to go over there and put posters up, Brahma posters.
and that's the thing is, but believe it or not, but the city of Monterrey, Mexico, is one of the largest American football cities in the country, and it's the second it's one of the largest cities in the country. It's like you compare New York and L.A. Two opposite ends of the country in the U.S. You got Mexico City in the south, Monterrey in the north. That's kind of the comparison there. So it's a big, major metropolitan area that likes to come to San Antonio for shopping. So while they're already here, why not bring them in? But we need to make them feel welcome and speak to them in their language. So we need to get the
Brahmas and the Pulgas is what we need to get them to walk around, not the Riverwalk.
Not even the Pulgas, La Cantera. You want the
Market Square.
The who?
You gotta go. You got
Market Square or something.
No, who was that? The Pulga? What's that?
Pulgas. That's like the flea markets.
I thought you said pool guys, like the pool.
Yeah, no, not that.
So Aaron here has a good point. Even El Paso too. Like we have prime market share of all of West Texas and northern Mexico. That we can definitely take if it's done right, and I think we need the off season to definitely look into that. And trust me, like when people see a mariachi talking about football, whether it's in English or Spanish, it gets people's attention who relate to that culture. And I would not be surprised if next season we start seeing more Spanish language fans, more people making tacos out there with me. More people that are
making buddies.
That are coming to the to the games with a passport, because they came internationally. We can have an actual grito contest.
Who make the empanadas?
That would be Argentina.
Oh, that's not y'all? Oh, dang. See, I like some empanadas, man.
Mexico makes the dessert empanadas, but the meaty ones, that's all.
I need the dessert ones. I want the dessert one, like from Taco Bell with the apples and stuff in it.
Oh, my goodness. That is not good food.
I know it's not real food.
You go like the panderia.
I want an authentic one. Empanada.
Yeah, panderia is not at Taco Bell.
If DJ would show up the games on time, like we could probably get.
Oh, exactly.
Hey, but look though, in the NFL though, I think they went to Mexico. It was in Mexico last year, right? And they filled their stadium up, man. So it's a hunger for football there.
There is absolutely a hunger for football, American football in Mexico that the NFL has been trying for years to tap into that market.
Is it a league or a team there or something?
The thing is that I can tell you every team that has gone has failed because they do not understand the market. They don't understand the culture and the people. They think they do, but they really don't. They can't talk to them at the level that someone from San Antonio can, because we relate much more to that culture. And many of us are from over there, like myself. you know, and you know, things like what
Like
this is
her
what I
too.
like right
Yeah,
here.
not
No,
this guy.
I'm not.
Well, you're not
So-
from Mexico?
No, remember we talked about this. I'm a Mexican.
Oh yeah, that's
She's
right. That's
half
right.
and half.
I'm
So
a
like
halfer.
like John here says, wearing sombreros, like stuff like that, like the cultural stuff that really hits. You know, I think that's going to be huge to just grow the fan base. And I personally, like, I did not expect this to become a thing, but I'm seeing it and I'm like, what the hell? Why not? I would love for the sombrero to become the official headwear
Yeah, I got
of
caught me.
the
I got
San
caught me
Antonio
one, man.
Brahmas.
But you talking about
Like-
5, 8 pounds? I'm not wearing it on my head though.
No.
That's
You can
because
get-
I have an authentic one. That's the
Like,
only reason why. You
I'm-
can
Right.
get
I don't
a-
want to get one from Amazon either.
No,
So
like,
I want to
you
get an
can-
authentic one.
You can there's ones in Mexico that are made
lighter
in
ones.
Mexico that are like light and they are
Yeah,
they
they're
got
light.
like they
What
they're
about San Antonio?
maybe-
Where they at in San Antonio?
probably
so
the,
they-
They're
the
not.
Market Square.
They're in Market Square, and I can tell
Mariachi
you exactly.
Connection.
Mariachi Connection has one for sale that's black and gold. That's $35.
Market Square. Let me look that up.
No,
Okay.
look
That's-
up Mariachi Connection.
Mariachi Connection, I can guarantee because I was just there
Yeah.
today getting my measurements.
If I pop up at the tailgate with one of those on, what y'all gonna say?
We're gonna make
Welcome.
you
Good, awesome,
Welcome.
yes, like absolutely.
Hey,
Like, I want more of this.
You know, Aaron Jones is he's a running back for the Packers.
He is.
His folks
Yeah,
is from El Paso,
Yep, and
military, and he grew up in El Paso, and he wears a sombrero.
Yep.
Yes, and the reason he
started the
wears it is because there's a gentleman from Corpus
Mhm.
Christi who I took a lot of inspiration from for what I'm doing called Senor Cheesehead, who he goes up to the games in Lambeau in a
Yeah.
full mariachi traje
Mhm.
that
I've
he
seen that.
custom made,
I'm
That's
from
amazing.
Corpus. Mm-hmm.
and he's from Corpus. And so when I saw that, I said, why can't
Yeah.
I do that in San Antonio?
Yeah.
You know, it makes a lot of sense. Like people in Wisconsin see that as a novelty. People here will see that as a cultural connection. You know,
You got your
And
blur
so,
on.
That's probably
like
You can
it's,
see
it's
that,
blurry, but
You got your
man.
blur background. That's why.
Yeah.
but they got the sombreros hanging up. Oh,
Yep.
they got some
Yeah.
Okay.
black and gold. I think I want the black and gold, but you got the black
There
and
you go.
gold, so I'm gonna get black and something else.
No,
So-
that's the
black and gold.
colors.
That's the thing is, I wanted.
Ooh,
to
they
be
got a
like
white
the
and gold.
official head-
Mm,
Get white
I mean,
and
you
gold
like
if
white
you want.
t-shirts.
Yeah,
It'll
there you go.
I like white t-shirts. What?
so
Yeah,
let's
you
circle
wear your
back on
white
something
t-shirts.
real quick.
That don't mean I
that-
like a white t-shirt.
Let's circle back
go
on
ahead,
something
Jason. My
that
fault, man.
DJ had said. We're talking about viewership and attendance at the games and everything like that. Week 6,
Packers talk.
Orlando Guardians versus the Seattle Sea Dragons. 1.047 million viewers.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's a
and
lot.
that was on a Saturday. It was on
Mhm.
ABC, right? So it got some primetime coverage and stuff. But imagine what would happen if that were to be filtered down into Mexico, right?
Mm.
Jorge, you were talking about the marketing and understanding, the culture and stuff like that. The XFL does a great job at understanding the culture and marketing in Europe. The European Football League, NFL Europe, that's been around for 30 years. I mean, I remember when it came out when I was still in high school, right? There's always been some kind of iteration of football. And a lot of it is going to be influenced because of the American presence in the different countries with the military bases and stuff like that. So it's not super hard to market to those places. But you are 100% correct in saying that the marketing needs to be changed to encompass the culture. We don't really have a large American presence down in Mexico, but the people of Mexico do love American football. So use teams that are kind of on the southern border to start breaking into that barrier, right? Have us
That's Houston and San Antonio are the ones to do it.
right now. Yes. If the league expands, right? A team,
San Diego.
well, San Diego, yes, but I'm thinking more like, somewhere like Albuquerque, El Paso, right? Somewhere in there.
Mhm.
Put some more of that presence, right? Somewhere
El
in
Paso
Arizona.
would be perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. Start using those.
That thing like
Vegas
8
would
hours away,
potentially be an opportunity also if they weren't playing in a stinking baseball stadium. That's going to
But,
confuse the hell out of people.
Believe it or not, though, Vegas actually gets a big draw from Utah. When I was there, I saw a lot of. Well, I met people from Utah that came, but I also saw people wearing Real Salt Lake stuff. all throughout the stadium,
Mhm.
which I'm a Real Salt Lake fan from Major League Soccer because I live there. And so they were surprised when the guy who's there from San Antonio was like, "Hey man, go RSL till I die." And they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I used to live in Salt Lake. Like I get you." And they're like, "Awesome." So that was an instant connection right there, with the fans of Las Vegas. But I really think that Orlando, they have the Cuban fans, they have Puerto Rican fans
Mhm.
that if they market that team in Spanish, and if that team kind of picks up their on-field product,
Mhm.
they can definitely make some noise in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't see why they can't definitely have a multicultural, multilingual audience in the stands the same way that Houston and San Antonio can. Now, Arlington, I think it would be a little bit more difficult because people are going to just say, "Well, it's not the Cowboys,"
100%.
and
Yeah.
and the Cowboys do have a large following in Mexico because they're the team that goes. They're the closest. Them and the 49ers are the teams
Right.
that go, and they
And the
have that
Houston
connection
Texans ain't
down
talking
there.
about nothing.
The Houston Texans don't have that
No.
I ain't
connection.
talking about
Definitely
nothing.
not.
No.
So I mean, the Roughnecks should be packing that stadium every every week. That's the
Well,
only football they'll get, man. And especially they doing good too. So
they
full strength.
were, but
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
anybody that knows anything about Texas football knows that it's a Phillips team. It's going to fall apart in the end. So who
I've
wants to
seen
ride that
it.
ride,
I've
right?
seen it.
well,
Yep.
let's see it because we gonna make. Hey, we gonna continue that
We're going to
this
continue it
this
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 Sunday,
Sunday.
baby.
We
Continue
have
Let's
that.
to.
go.
We have to.
So, Aaron, I'm not sure if I 100% understand your comment or not. El Paso and Albuquerque don't have
Don't
football
have. So
teams.
I think he's saying since they don't have a football team, it's a good
Yeah.
Okay.
spot for us to pull fans from.
Mhm.
Well, for right now, yes, definitely. But if we're talking about future expansion, and especially expansion down into Mexico, those are prime targets that we need to be getting into the fold now and talking to, getting them connected, right, with just the league in general. They can pick whatever team they want. Of course, they're going to pick the Brahmas because we're the best team ever. But
Of course.
when we start talking about expansion, right, we can start growing into those marketplaces because people are crazy for football in El Paso.
And
They're
Juarez is right there. Like literally,
yeah,
you could skip to Juarez.
They're they're
8
they're
hours.
connected.
Yeah.
They're 8 hours away from the closest place that they can watch football, which is San Antonio.
Hmm.
Nobody's going to drive that far unless they're that diehard, right? Um, if they get their own team, or if Albuquerque or Santa Fe or somebody like that gets a team, they can draw from El Paso, and then those are venues that can feed into the fans south of the border, right? People will come over and watch those games and start
Mhm.
falling in love more and more and taking that back with them and making those connections and really helping spread the roots for American football in Mexico. And then they can start expanding south and start connecting with some of the bigger cities, right? Um, and that's a great way to introduce and break into that culture, right? And start making those end roads into that fan base and start looking for additional opportunities like that would be like tier 3 growth, if you will. So
Yeah, and like Aaron said, the Roughnecks have a better record than the Texans. Like, why would you not go support the Roughnecks? I mean, I will say, like, when it came to the Roughnecks, the experience inside the stadium was incredible. The fans were awesome. I was taking tequila shots with fans, like inside the stadium. Now, their tailgating needs
Inside the stadium.
Oh
inside
yeah,
the
they were
stadium.
rowdy.
They were
Wow.
rowdy. Yeah, like like there was guys next to me that snuck in tequila on the inside in it was a plastic flask. That's why I didn't set off any alarms. But they're sitting next to me. They're like, "Mariachi, take some tequila." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I won't say no tequila." And even though I had to wake up at 4 a.m. the next day to come back to San Antonio, but I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And now their tailgating needs a lot of help. It is non-existent.
Yeah, there was nothing.
There was I got there and I even showed it on video. I was in an empty parking lot expecting to tailgate with other people, and I was waiting there for me and Steve Canto, we went together, and we ended up waiting by my truck in the bed of my truck for an hour till the gates opened, and we're like, man, we should have just gone to go eat somewhere and like come, because this is awful. But the experience inside the stadium was great. The only complaint that I have is their security staff needs to lighten up a little bit. The reason I say that is because so after the game, there was a gentleman who did have a little bit too much to drink. And there was one person from the stadium staff that was with him that had called for medical attention. 15 minutes went by, nobody was showing up. So myself and Donna and her husband Marcos, we were just kind of waiting there, and we're like, should we go get somebody? So I went and I asked the gentleman, like, hey, do you need me to go get EMS? Like, and he was like, well, they were supposed to be here 10 minutes ago, but yeah, I mean, whatever you can do, it'd be great. So I went and I found EMS and I brought them down. But then the gentleman who had too much to drink, he was, he like shot up and was like starting to refuse help. And I thought, okay, this guy might be a little bit belligerent. So I go to the police officer that's in the stadium sitting down on her phone. And I asked her, I said, hey, are you active right now? Are you on duty as a police officer? She's like, yeah. What do you want? Like, really rude to me. And I was like, excuse me, there's a gentleman over there who is being tended to by medical, who may be belligerent and might need some police intervention if you're not careful. So I was just simply wanting to tell you to keep an eye on him so that none of your medics get hurt. So have a good day. But she was just really rude to me. So that's something that I think that they need to work on over there as far as the hospitality goes. I understand that being a police officer is a stressful job, but when someone's simply trying to help you, whether they're from the dressed going for the opposite team that is at the home stadium, like, treat them with some respect, please. And I can guarantee you, all 3 Houston fans that will be here, we will treat you well. We will treat you with respect, and you will not have that problem. And if you do, you let us know, and we'll make sure that it gets communicated to the right people.
I think they got some people coming.
Okay, 4 people.
They're gonna look straight for you too. Watch.
Yeah, they are. They could come looking for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I mean, I honestly, as much as I would love for Houston to come and join in the festivities on Sunday, I really don't think it's going to happen. Like, I know a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, we'll be in San Antonio, but I don't think that they had in mind that it's on Easter Sunday. And I just don't see them traveling. So, I know Robert here saying that he has several Roughneck buddies coming. So I'm going to, by several, 2 can be several. So that's 2 right there. Right. So I'm going to say that
so
that's,
6.
So, all right. So, it looks like we're up to 6 now, which is like, man, that is, I'm proud of Houston.
Half a row.
Yep. I am proud of Houston for bringing 6 people.
I think the Battlehawks did the best though. They traveled. I remember when
they traveled pretty well.
Yeah, when they won, I saw a big old crowd on that side of the away side of the bench in the corner. So it was I think it was an AJ McCarron's family or somebody. But they all sat together. There was a lot of them.
Certainly didn't have the numbers that they were taunting.
But no, they certainly didn't. I mean, talk to me when you have
no offense, Amanda.
They had a bus load or something that was coming or something like that, right?
They were supposed to have several.
They couldn't make it happen because nobody wanted to come. But I'm just gonna say it. Talk to us when you can have 200 fans at a visiting stadium like we did in Arlington.
Period.
I will say that the Brahmas we've established ourselves as the best travel fan base in the XFL. You will see a Brahma at every single game. And I can tell you with confidence right now, for anybody from St. Louis who is watching, you will see this Brahma there, probably that Brahma down over there.
And I went to their home opener. I mean, And I was wearing my Brahmas gear.
But I'm going in my new suit at that point because I will have it by then.
Go.
And it will be completely Brahma'd out, and I will stand out, and I will call out that Bird Night guy. So
Wait, so you getting logos on it?
oh yeah,
Oh dang!
yeah, I'm going like
You gonna be a walking copyright.
pretty much.
Walking copyright.
That's
But they're not, you know what? It's crazy too because they're not even gonna bother.
Just make it a little bit crooked or something, like one horn shorter, then you're fine.
Or curve the horn up.
Yeah, make it
curve it up.
No, and the thing is like it's like okay, I got the helmet decal tattooed. All right, how you gonna sue me over the tattoo? Huh?
Right.
Take it off.
No, but I'm sure they appreciate the free marketing that's gonna live on for the rest of my, at least for the rest of my life. I'm gonna make sure when I'm dead and they're burying me and I'm like 98 years old and you got like a wrinkled old horns right there, I'm be like,
bury me in my traje.
Right there.
That'd be insane.
Yep.
Put the sombrero on your chest.
Oh
That'd be insane.
I don't know about doing the whole sombrero on my chest, but
So-
yeah, it'll be good.
So, everybody, let me ask you what you think the tailgating is going to be like with Easter going on and everything, and some of the conflicts that could potentially come up from that. What are you expecting from the tailgate situation?
So as an avid tailgater myself, who is one of usually the second one in line, that Warren's always first. Gotta let the leader in
Camps
first.
Warren first.
But I honestly think that it's going to be a slow start. So I people have religious commitments, understandable, and so I don't think that there's going to be a line to get in to the Alamo Dome at 8:30 like there normally is for a 2:00 kickoff. But I think people will start showing up at 10, 11, and maybe tailgate for an hour. There won't be as much, I maybe after I bought that pack of chicken for you, man.
They're showing up at like 1:30.
No,
right
I'd be there at 12:30, man. Be there at 12:30. Y'all,
Sure.
I can't tell. Like,
Sure.
I'm learning now. Since I've been here, I'm learning. The tailgating is a whole different breed here. There's no way.
Absolutely.
There's no way I'm getting in line at 4:00 in the morning, waiting for the gates to open, to pull in there, pull the grill out, and cutting the grill on before breakfast. Y'all is different, man.
Well,
you don't gotta wait that 4 in the morning.
You could have tacos any
6
time
in the
of
morning.
Mm-hmm.
6 in the morning. 6 in the morning.
And there's a Bill Miller's right across the street. So
but you can have
from there too.
tacos in the breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. You can have tacos 24/7 though.
Hey,
That's the difference.
See, but I don't eat 24/7 tacos.
Bro.
You can on tailgating
Breakfast
days.
tacos, I gotta have sausage, eggs, and cheese.
What would be wrong with some chorizo?
No beans. I don't eat beans.
This guy,
y'all gonna kill me. Y'all really gonna kill me because I don't eat refried beans. I don't like refried beans.
Over under that Daryl makes it to tailgate 30 minutes before the game.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go to Vegas.
The Brahmas are also doing a lot of things now they're gonna have a bunny out there for the kids. They're doing some good things too to try to bring in the crowd even for after obligations.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Donna.
I know I'm gonna try to get my son down there to do his Easter egg hunting with all the other
I already
kids.
said at the game I'm 12. Move over. Move over,
So,
kid. That's my Brahma egg.
Yeah. So as one of the religious commitment people, I'm definitely going to be showing up a little bit late, and that's out of the ordinary for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I don't normally miss tailgating. Unfortunately, I will be a little bit late, but I hate to say it, but come heck or high water, when it's 12 o'clock, I'm on the road heading down to that game. I will be there by 12:30, right? Jesus will just have to forgive me later, and I'll have to pay my penance somehow.
So y'all gonna come?
I'm going.
What about him?
What about who?
You?
I'll be there.
I said 12:30. You said 12:30. Oh, so they're gonna heckle you. They ain't gonna heckle you, but they're gonna heckle me.
Because he shows up though.
But
Boom,
you
I'm
always
showing up.
you always show up at 12:30.
Oh hey, did I or did I not eat your street tacos the
You
first?
did. The
Okay.
first
But
What
did
time
you
was
get
that?
brisket the
But-
second time?
I did
I
not.
catered it. I catered it for everybody, and you didn't show up.
Truth.
So
You talking about the second game?
second game, I had a whole barbecue catering
Yep.
for everybody, and you didn't show up.
Oh,
Bet.
I like
Yeah.
Robert's style.
Yes. I like Robert's Easter egg hunt for the adults.
Right? Yeah, oh yeah, plastic shots for the adults right here.
Yes. Make
Yep.
it happen.
Make sure you do it with Terramana tequila from the Rock.
Period.
Shameless plug. That's the second shameless plug this game.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. We're giving
Right.
the Rock
Well,
and the
sorry,
XFL.
because
Oh,
of the
and
Zoa.
some Zoa, and then we got Alamo Beer represented here today. So I'm just saying, everyone's getting some free sponsorship on this show right now. If anyone,
I'm with Philip. I'm with Philip on his comment.
let's see right here.
Yep.
Thought with a big guy, worship, then beeline to the tailgate is all good. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna be there at 10:30, roughly between 10:30 and 11. So I'm not gonna be tailgating the full time that I'm there, but I do plan on doing some tailgating. So I will have some tacos. Obviously, the first game I cooked maybe about 250 tacos.
That's crazy.
And I ran out of food, which was amazing. But this game, I'm probably doing closer to like 100. I'm not expecting a big crowd for tailgating. I am expecting a big crowd for the game, a bigger crowd than the 9 o'clock game or the 8 o'clock game. But I don't think that tailgating is going to be as crazy. So for the 5 Houston fans that will be showing up saying for the 6 Houston fans that will be showing up saying, I thought San Antonio had a big old tailgating, thing. It's like, well, my man, it's Easter Sunday. Like,
It's the day of the
come on.
Lord.
Like,
Yep.
it's a religious holiday, my guy. Like, come on, like, cut us some slack. Like, if this game had been on Saturday, totally different story.
Mhm.
But it's on Easter Sunday, and people have religious commitments.
We'd be lining up in about 3 hours to start tailgating.
Probably. Honestly, I do think that for the Orlando game, especially after the win this week,
Ooh,
if you're used to lining up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to get into the gates, you're probably going to have to move that back by about 30 to 45 minutes to make sure you get a good spot if you want to. So I would expect to be out there probably between 6 and 6:30. For this, because it's a Saturday game. Now for the Fiesta game against DC,
I'm be drooling.
oh my!
I'll still be in REMs.
So for the Fiesta game against DC, I do expect to be out there myself at about maybe 5:30 a.m. to make sure I get my spot.
We're gonna yellow it out too, aren't we?
Or actually, I mean, what time? I think that game is a later game, so maybe not 5:30, but I will be there probably about 2 to 3 hours before the gates actually open, just chilling out.
The 2 o'clock game on Saturday.
For the DC game.
Yes, sir.
Then I will be there probably at 5:30 in the morning, or 6 o'clock, waiting for that. And the reason for that is I want everybody to remember that game we are limited to 1 parking lot only, and the ticket parking passes for that game have not gone on sale yet either. So it's going to be first come, first serve. So you need to be there early if you're going to want to tailgate and have a good spot. What time
Fiesta start?
Fiesta starts 2 days before.
24/7.
Yeah, Fiesta doesn't ever end once it starts.
Yeah. So Fiesta officially starts 2 days before the game, and it ends on April 30th.
So what are people doing at midnight? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning?
They're drinking at the bars.
Drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So there's
walking around the carnival. There's so much stuff going on.
Crazy.
Once the bars close at 2, then they just take it to the streets.
Yeah. So to give you an idea of Fiesta, so there's going to be events during the day that usually last all day. Oyster Bake, the King William's Fair, the carnival,
and all of this is downtown.
Well, it's all,
No,
it's
It's all over
spread
the city,
everywhere.
man.
It's all over this, but a lot of it
Like
is concentrated
Nyosa?
downtown.
Mhm.
A lot of it is concentrated downtown, but there are events happening all over the city. So, like for example, Alamo Heights Night is at the University of Incarnate Word.
Mhm.
So it's all over the city. Now those events, they do obviously all serve alcohol. People usually get happy. There's a lot of Uber going on. Make sure you drink and responsibly if you guys are going to be out partying for Fiesta. But when you add in pro football and tailgating, which has never been done during Fiesta,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to change the landscape of Fiesta because there's going to be a lot of things going on downtown already as it is. Market Square is usually a hotbed for Fiesta activities throughout the entirety of Fiesta. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be going to the game or just simply to the tailgate who will be thinking that that's a Fiesta event, which honestly, even though it's not officially recognized by the Fiesta Commission, it kind of is. People are calling it the Fiesta game. I think it's going to be, especially if it's going to be the game that it's like win and you're in, it's going to be wild. And we're limited to one parking lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And then we're going to get a bunch of those people from the carnival who are going to, come on over and instead of paying carnival food, they're going to come get free tailgate food.
Is there a schedule?
For Fiesta?
Yeah.
What-
Absolutely. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do, but
So like, where's the source for that? Like, where you just Google Fiesta or something? I mean, I'm just,
Yeah.
I gotta ask questions
yeah, no, for sure. So if you go to fiestasanantonio.org,
because I never even heard of that till I moved here. I mean, I knew
Yeah.
about the Fiesta, like as far as the Spurs changing their colors of the jerseys and stuff.
the Fiesta colors,
Yeah. Other than that, I ain't know none. I never knew it was like an actual event type of thing.
So if you go to fiestasanantonio.org, that will give you all of the information that you need.
Okay.
And then while you're looking at that, another shameless plug here. Make sure you go to southtexasblood.org/SA challenge. Sign up, donate blood.
You might as well
and
just
be
make a
entered to win some
commercial.
tickets.
Just make a
You know,
commercial.
I already did.
Just plug it in.
But yeah, I mean, if you're already looking for Fiesta stuff, just make sure that you also
Donna.
donate some blood.
Donna's an angel. Don't you start.
She
Donna's an
stressed me
angel.
out. Donna stressed me out.
She
See,
an
Aaron's
angel.
I'm from
taking
DC, Donna.
the electric scooter from downtown to Stone Oak.
Dang.
Hey, if it's got the battery power to
I was about to
take you all the
say,
way up there,
he better
go ahead.
have some batteries because that's a long little ride.
I can hook you up with the battery power for that, man. Trust me. I know how to wire them up. I got you, kid.
I wouldn't repeated that.
So all right. So we've talked the Roughnecks and the Brahmas coming up. We've talked the tailgating forecast. So let's talk predictions now. All right. So
Oh man.
first prediction. First prediction. Who do you think is going to be our quarterback this weekend?
Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, it's probably going to be Cohen. For sure.
I'm saying Cone.
Not like that. You got to say Cohen.
Yep.
Jack
I'm
Cone.
backing him.
Jack Cone.
Cone.
I'm gonna say I think Cone's gonna touch the field first,
Yes,
but I don't think he's gonna get the most reps. Honestly,
Who do you think? Pass?
I think it's gonna be a toss up between Pass and Lynch. I honestly do.
Really?
I think he's probably gonna look for the spark, man. Whoever give him the
Mm-hmm.
spark, he gonna run with it.
100%. And again, unless something has changed in the last week in Cone's leadership ability, I want to see the kid bring the spark, right? I really do. I defended him for the first 4 weeks when everybody was dogpiling on him, and I'm pointing to the line the whole time. If he brings the spark, if he can get those players fired up, then he's going to take the majority of the snaps. If he comes out shaky, if he comes out uncertain, if he's not barking out orders and commanding the team, they're going to swap him. And I just don't know. I think Lynch has the more experience, but I think Pass has more time under center with our team. So it's going to be interesting to see who they decide to alternate it through. But I'm pretty sure all three quarterbacks are going to be touching the ball this week.
Yeah, he said Pass will be inactive. No, I think they all active. Nobody's hurt. and he can have all three out there.
So I kind of have to agree with Philip here. I think Pass is going to be.
So they're going to
inactive.
put him inactive. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
healthy
So
scratch,
that way,
healthy scratch.
yeah. So
They may need him on
I'm
Sunday.
about it. That'd be a bad. I mean, who am I? But that would be a bad idea if they do that.
But I do think it's going to be Cone to start, and it's going to be him and Lynch going back and forth.
That's a bad idea.
And seeing kind of what sticks at this point. I do think though that Cone, with the experience that he already has with the team and the chemistry, would be a much better choice to do it. He's already faced Houston. He knows what he's going up against because he was the quarterback in Houston.
He faced Houston and went 8 for 20, 64 yards.
Yeah, he didn't do bad.
I agree. I'm on a Nick Holly train. I'm a big Nick Holly fan, so I'm on his train. I agree. If he do, because we do a lot of screens and drag, drag routes and all that stuff. So, and Holly is key for that. So I'm with that. But I mean, hopefully the line holds up, man. That's the only thing I'd be thinking about every week is what the line gonna look like.
Yeah,
that's my concern. There is how mobile is Cone to be able to, because the thing is what we've seen in the past couple weeks with Sinet, with Benkert, with Pass, is that they were mobile to boot out and to do the necessary quarterback maneuvers to combat a weak offensive line protection. And from what we've seen historically from Cone, not so much. He's a pocket passer. He's a pocket guy. You got to have a strong line to have a pocket, which we don't right now. And
I think that was the first time in the last game is when I saw him do any kind of scrambling or anything in the last game.
And the way that he scrambled, I have kind of been saying this, is that when he scrambled and he saw someone coming at him, I didn't see him slide like a quarterback.
No, that was one thing too.
Like I saw him kind of take the dive a little bit early, which I hope it's something that has been addressed. I do think that I will chalk that up to having the yips, which I really believe is a real injury. It's a mental injury that I think he may have just kind of been in his own head a little bit, when that happened, and it didn't help that the fans were booing, and that's where we as fans need to step it up and support our guy to make sure he has that confidence, knowing that the crowd is behind him and that we're not going to be booing him. That can start as early as tomorrow by showing up to Dick's Sporting Goods, shaking his hand, looking him in the eye, and saying, "Hey, man, good luck tomorrow. I believe in you. I believe
he needs you, Jorge. He needs you, man. Talk to him. He needs you, bro.
He's a pep talk.
I'm planning on going to that one for that very reason, to be able to talk to the team, hype them up, and say, "Hey, guys, we're here. The diehards are here. We believe in you. Go out there, give it your all. We're going to be here cheering you on. We're going to blow our voices out, making sure that you know that we're here for you guys. You just go out and you do your thing."
That's it.
That's me.
I have an Easter egg hunt commitment in Helotes before that event, where I have been requested to dress up on an unofficial basis, I will say.
As the bunny?
No, as the mariachi. So I will already be in my dressed as the mariachi. So I may try to, because it's in Helotes and I got to come back home, which takes me past Dick's Sporting Goods. So depending on the timing of it, I'm going to try to my hardest to make it out there, exactly for the reason that Jason said, that if I can go out there and just show these guys, like, hey man, you already know I'm going to be out there. You already know where I'm going to be. And I've been telling every single person that I can, first one to score a touchdown, you come and grab my sombrero and it's yours. I'm still waiting. I still have
they
my
can
sombrero.
have it?
They can take it. How they have the defense has a turnover change?
Shoot. Wait, you said it's custom though.
That's the new one coming.
No, he said this one he got is custom, right?
Not the one he's wearing right now.
The one that I wear right now is custom for the suit, yes. But I am more than happy and willing to give it to the team. I mean, if they want to give it back to me after the game, that's their deal. But the defense has a turnover chain. Why can't the offense have a touchdown sombrero?
Yeah.
So if I'm able to get on the field and I just run to get in the touchdown, I mean, that's technically a touchdown, right?
Well, not you, because you're not. It doesn't count.
Oh, come on, man!
You got the number. The numbers got to go up on the scoreboard if you do it.
Truth.
I could just tell them to put the numbers up on the scoreboard.
Oh my god, you would try to find a loophole.
I got to.
But I'm just saying. I mean, if the defense can have a touchdown, a turnover chain, why can't the offense have something? I mean. You typically, if you're an offensive lineman, you get a bottle of syrup and get yourself some pancakes. When you get a pancake, take a slug of syrup to celebrate. But why not have a touchdown sombrero? Why not? Why not start that? I'm offering it. Any Brahmas that are out there, I'm offering it to you. I will take off my hat and place it on you, and you take it.
Are you supposed to be this was the season ticket member announcer or something like that? Is that?
That's what I was told. I haven't heard back from them.
You could say, "Hey, if you get the mic, you got the opportunity to say that."
If I got the mic, I trust me.
You gotta say it.
I will say it. I will say
they can't take the mic from you because they gonna get jumped.
I will tell them. I will say the first player to score, come find me, section 108, and you got yourself a touchdown sombrero. Defense has their chain. Offense, I'm giving y'all a gift.
Well,
I will happily do
still
it.
3 more games though. I mean, so you buying how many sombreros you gonna get? I mean, because if they score a touchdown, they're gonna be looking for you to get the sombrero if you ain't got one.
Jorge, I'm still waiting for you to lead us in that grito. Right? I've been practicing.
We got to.
I mean, I made a whole sign. And
here's the thing: we got to score touchdowns.
Okay,
that's the thing is we got to score touchdowns.
Okay, well we
haven't.
That's on offense.
We've scored touchdowns on. See, the last time we did a grito was with the scoop and score.
Yeah.
When we did it, and it was heard. It was heard.
We did. That was awesome, man.
It was heard throughout the stadium. And it. Let's see. We did it at the first game, and the stadium got loud. Even though I didn't have a voice at that time, the stadium still got loud. But other than that, I mean, in Las Vegas, the one touchdown that we scored that we took to the house, I was by myself. I can only do so much as a one-man show because us Brahma fans were separated. I was sitting behind home plate, which is still weird to say for Las Vegas. I was sitting behind home plate. But, I could only do so much by myself, and instead of, while I was trying to curse the Las Vegas team with the wave, which so do not do the wave, people. Do not do the wave.
They didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to me. I stopped the wave a few times in my section. I told people, no, don't get up. Like
here's the thing is that the wave is a curse. We have seen it. We saw it firsthand against St. Louis. We did the wave, and what happened? St. Louis came back and beat us.
100%.
Arlington started doing the wave, and what happened? Scoop and score, and we beat them. Las Vegas. I started the wave in Las Vegas on purpose, and what happened? They missed a field goal that should have been a chip shot. And there was no wind that day either to say, oh, the wind blew it. No. The kicker just had a bad kick. And I purposefully was doing the wave for them while they were on offense. Funny enough, the Las Vegas fans came up to me after the game saying, thank you for making our fans the most lively they've been. And I'm like, yeah, man, you're welcome. Yeah. But I did the wave on purpose to screw with y'all.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Wait, hold on. So,
oh, God, here we go.
Oh, God.
So you did the wave, right?
On purpose, started the
wave.
Yes.
You know their stands is an L shape, right?
Yes.
So did the wave stop and then it went back on the other side of the L and it started again? How does it go in a circle? It don't go in a circle?
No. So like I started it. So I was like, again, think of the baseball. I was in the corner. Yeah. So I was throwing up my sombrero, right? Getting them to do the wave. So I got my section to do the wave, and then it went to the next section. And then the next section after that on the next attempt. And then it just kept going and going. I tried it maybe 5 times, and I was able to get the entire section, the entire stadium from the home plate all the way down the first baseline to do the wave. And it took off. And people were like, the mariachi's doing the wave. He's doing the wave. And so as soon as I saw people doing it, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want. So I kept on doing it a couple times as long as their team was on offense. And sure enough, it messed with their offense. So my job was done. My fault was that I started it too late in the game. I didn't do it early enough. So, the loss in Vegas, I know the players and coach and all that, they take responsibility. I partially take responsibility for it as well, because
as a fan,
I could have done more to mess with Las Vegas, and I didn't. The hut cadence only worked so well for a little bit before they tried copying it, and I'm like, it doesn't work for y'all. It only works when we do it. But the way
I'm gonna try it though. I'm gonna try the hut. I'm gonna try that.
Do it.
On
Do
Sunday.
it.
When they
do it.
when they close to, because I'm right behind the goalpost, so I'm gonna try to say hut loud when
make sure you get people around you to join.
Especially when our defense has them pressed into their own end
zone.
Yeah. Oh my God, it works so well.
Right on the goal line.
Jason, I want you to make Wade Phillips make this face right here.
Oh, challenge accepted, baby.
And then do one of these to you, but him specifically. I want to see that.
Okay.
Try to get Brandon Silvers first, because he's the one on the field. So try to get in his head first.
Oh, before he even touches the field to take his first snap, I'm going to be barking at him.
Because if he have a bad day, we having a good day. That means defense scoring. The defense going to score. So.
Yep. Donna, you're right. Hut. Just wait.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. I want, if the whole stadium starts screaming hut, that would be amazing, because
do I gotta make another sign? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
A hut sign?
Is there a way to
stick to your sign, because we need that one.
I got that one too. Still
hut on one side, shh on the other.
I can do it.
Because the thing is that we're gonna need as much help as possible to throw off that offense. Like, I want the offense of Houston, I want their ears to bleed because of how much noise we're making, and that they're like, I can't hear you. It's like a gunshot went off and they didn't have ear protection. I want it to be that loud where their ears are ringing after the game, because we were that loud and rowdy. And I'm positive that Wade Phillips is saying those people in San Antonio are crazy. All right, you guys are gonna need to be able to communicate and be ready for that. And then I don't think Bob Stoops was very ready for that, but they unfortunately
own house, man.
Yeah, he was not ready for it in his own house. And we definitely got into their heads, because I know we caused a few false start penalties on with the 200 fans that we had. And the fact that we were able to be heard from around the stadium shows that when 200 of us can make can do some damage, imagine what 20,000 plus can do. And that's my call out to the fan base is don't be afraid to use your voice and do some damage.
Oh yeah, that's the purpose why I upgraded my ticket, so I can be in 108, because my voice up there at the top by myself wasn't doing much damage. So
what row are you in?
I think I'm in row 10. I'm pretty sure
I'm in row 2. If you see open seats, come on down.
Oh, period. I'm going down there for sure. Bet I will.
Hey, if you see open seats, let me know. I'll walk around there.
You can stay in your spot.
But I like the end zone though. I like the end zone.
No, some of you folks
I'm close. I get real close. Like, they right there on the goal, especially on the goal line. They right there.
I really do think, though, that we need to have like a supporter section, kind of like the way that they do in soccer, where there is a specific section that is dedicated for people to get loud and rowdy. And it's like, if you have kids, maybe don't bring them to this section, kind of thing.
It might. It looks like it might be 108. It looks like it might be 108.
I
All you
mean,
need to do
No.
is get a sign.
It's Jay's section. That's
One,
the
three,
head coach
four, baby,
section.
all
One,
day,
three, four.
every day. Let's go.
so that might be something that I that I'm gonna want to pitch to the team in the off season. It's like, can we have like a soccer style supporter section where like the crazy fans can sit and say like parental consent is advised, like yeah, like that's one of those sections, because I think if we have that, it's going to be definitely something that other teams are going to be concerned about, and they will flag our section as like, be careful for that section over there. Like, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean,
I'm down.
we had police presence in our last home game. I'm just saying. Okay. 134, that's the section to be, folks. Don't listen to these people. 108 is lit, don't get me wrong, but you need to be right on the boards.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's appealing to me of being able to heckle the other team. So
Honestly, I'm kind of thinking that like if we do end up doing this section, we do it behind the opposing team's bench on purpose.
134.
for sure.
Come
Like,
see me, man.
134.
Like,
134.
because the thing is like, if we're loud and rowdy to the point where when the offensive line comes down, or the receivers come back to the bench and they're trying to talk game schemes, and they're getting yelled at the entire time, and their coach cannot communicate with them, it is frustrating, because that is the time when you are supposed to plan and make
Hi, Donna.
fixes and adjustments.
Yeah, that was smart.
And like it's yeah, like I think it'll mess with the other team and make their life hell, both on the field and off the field when they're on the sideline.
So one of the things that we did talk about offline was all of the diehard fans, right? The super fans we've talked about before, everybody getting those row AA seats completely around the bowl, right? That way, even if they have some of their fans there, they've got to see us first, and just us pressing them the whole entire game. So that could be an option also. Maybe talk to the execs and say, hey, why don't you reserve the AA rows for all of us for the season ticket holders? And I know some of the fans are going to be upset about that, and the opposing team fans are going to be upset about that. But this is our house, right?
Right.
Like, let's
make
do
the
our
rules.
thing to support our team.
We make
Yeah.
the rules. Period. With a T.
Yeah.
Period.
So, but there's definitely options out there that we need to research with the execs. Nice. Yeah, you're right, Donna. It was me. But like, we need to do something together as a group, right? Yes, all the rowdy knuckleheads. Yes, 100%. Again, team effort, right? We need to do our part to support the team that's on the field. They need to know that we're there. They're gonna feed off of that energy. They're gonna get excited. They get a little bit behind. They're gonna look to us to rally them, right? So everybody, we've said this at the beginning of the show. We've said this at every show. Everybody come out, support your team. Get rowdy, get crazy. Take some Advil or some aspirin or something before the game. That way you can fight those pressure headaches and stuff. But get crazy, get loud.
And
Show
don't
your
be
team you're there.
like, make fat jokes about the linemen. Don't be afraid of them just because they're big. Trust me. Like, they have feelings too. Let's hurt them.
Yep. So funny that you say that, right? At the St. Louis game, dude, we didn't do a good enough job messing with the kicker, but the entire time we were calling him Frosted Tips and Backstreet Boy. And he was leering at us.
Oh
right?
my god.
We didn't quite get in his head enough, but we were getting to him, right? We were calling McCarron Karen the whole time. Telling him to go complain to the manager about us being too loud.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, dude. Oh yes.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Yeah, I gotta get the 134, man. I gotta get the 134.
I want to go after the linemen. I want the big boys to be mad at me, because I know exactly how to get. As a former big boy myself, I know exactly what'll hurt their feelings.
Okay, let's talk. I need some fuel, man. I need some fuel.
All right, so let's see. You can talk about how their bodies jiggle when they jump, and we know that. You can
I
talk
wouldn't say
about.
that. I wouldn't. I would not say
I
that.
absolutely would say that. You can talk about how that pancake syrup's looking a little bit more like molasses. You're looking a little slow out there, big boy. What's going on, Piggy? What's wrong, Piggy? Call him Piggy.
Piggy. Okay.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
let's
Can
see.
we talk about Dunlap? Can we call them out on Dunlap?
I mean, I don't know if everyone will know what it is, but
That's where your belly
the belly
Dunlaps
don't
over
lap
your
over
belt?
your
Yeah.
Um,
There's another one too. I can't say it because there's women present. So
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's okay.
we're not. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I've got
you
3
don't want to get
daughters,
in
I gotta
trouble.
watch my language.
but you can pick
I
on
get
like
the hint.
the biggest guy and be like, oh look, that guy must be he must poor guy's got Dunlap disease, man. I feel so bad for him. Look at that belly Dunlap over his belt right there.
Yep.
My goodness, that's why he's moving so slow.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like man, you can say something like jelly rolls. You can call them. You can say something that man. When Charles Barkley's talking about them big old women in San Antonio, he must have been talking about you, 62. Like
Yep.
something along those lines. Just make fun of their weight, make fun of their size, like that. After a while, you hear that, and after a while, because linemen pride themselves on being big, strong guys. But as soon as you start calling them fat and out of shape, they take that to heart, and they don't like that.
Nice.
Robert.
I've seen better blocks on Facebook. That's going in the book right there.
There you go.
Coming.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I'm telling you, go after the lineman, and if you get into the lineman's head, you attack the core of the team. Because the line is the core of the offense. Without a line, as you have seen with us, you don't have an offense. And if you are messing with them and they're mad at you and they're focused on you, then they're out of focus. And an offensive lineman needs to be laser focused. And that's why, look, I will admit, when I played football, I was the Ric Flair of linemen. I was the dirtiest player in the game. I would do things that people would. I would constantly choke people. I would stick my fingers down people's throats. I would grab at certain parts. I would twist certain ankles.
No.
Everything I could. I was
You're
dirty.
savage.
I was dirty. I played dirty. I will admit, I played dirty. But the thing is that it made my job a lot easier because the defensive lineman no longer wanted to go after the ball carrier or the quarterback. He wanted to come after me, which I'm like, bro, do that all day because that means that's less work I got to do. Ball carrier's going to go that way. But you want to come after me? Go right ahead.
Yep.
So, I will say I was dirty. I got into people's heads. I like to call myself, using a wrestling term, the cerebral assassin, because by the end of the game, the defensive lineman that was in front of me did not like me because I did things to him that I touched him in ways probably his girlfriend wouldn't touch him. So, yeah, I did. I had
proposed to you afterwards.
I had no shame. I had no shame.
Said
And
he
that is
proposed to you afterwards.
he might as well have, because I guarantee
my
you that's the
goodness.
most action he probably would have gotten.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So I know this podcast is getting a little X-rated for Friday night, but
Getting
I
a
mean,
little late, a little after dark,
a little after dark action here. But yeah, I'm telling you, if you get into the linemen's heads, you will ruin the cadence of the team, and you will mess with them, and it will hurt them to their core. And I really do not care about linemen's feelings because I am no longer an offensive lineman. So, Jason, I am counting on you to make fat jokes all day long. Make sure to remind them that when they look in the mirror does not like what looks back at them. When if they, as soon as they stop working out, have fun going to Weight Watchers, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Oh no, trust me. I'll be doing some research, and as a pleasantly plump fellow myself, I know the things are going to cut to the bone. Okay, I
Yeah.
got them. Don't worry about that.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the thickest of them all?
Yep.
It's the
So-
guy who broke the damn mirror by just looking at it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We got 'em.
Amazing.
Oh, Donna's not very happy about being the dirtiest player in the game here. You know, I had to do what I had to do.
Yep. So, what is our next prediction for the game, Jorge?
So let's talk scores. You know, realistically, you know, what do you all think is going to, and whether it's a score or just a general outcome, I want to know, what do you think the outcome of the game is and why?
I'll take first crack. I think, without giving numbers, because that's going to be a little bit too hard to predict with all the changes and everything that have been going on, right? I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think our defense is going to be extremely crucial and key to our victory, but I do think the Brahmas are going to take it at home. And with all of us doing our part to get in the heads, I think we're probably going to see several false starts. I'm hoping for at least 2 picks, one of which will lead to a defensive touchdown. If not a pick 6, definitely a touchdown that is going to be on their side of the field from our offense. What quarterback puts it in the end zone, I don't know. But I definitely see us walking out with the victory on a very close, very hard-fought game. And a lot of it is going to be riding on our defense.
I agree. I think it's going to be low scoring, though, too. I don't think it's going to be crazy high. But for the most part, agree.
Yeah, we've got 23-17 from Philip. We've got 15-13 from Robert. I honestly think 15-13 is going to be something that's going to be more realistic.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the game is going to come down to the defensive performance of the Brahmas. If the defense shows up, it will be a win for the Brahmas. If the defense plays like they did in Vegas, then the Roughnecks are going to walk out the winners. I will, you know.
Well, if the defense even plays the same way they played the first time we played Houston, we're not going to get that win. We absolutely have to shut down Silvers, and we have got to get into Borghi's head, right?
We blanked them the second half, though.
Yeah, the second half they were blanked out. Yeah.
Right, but
we just couldn't get in the end
zone. You got to do that for 2 halves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they lit us up pretty bad the first 2 halves. We cannot have that. So our defense needs to be there 4 quarters and absolutely has to own them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be a defense. It's going to come down to the defense. I mean, as much as I want to say, like, yes, our offense is going to light up the scoreboard, we know that's not going to happen.
I wish.
But it's going to come down to the defense leading the team, making sure that we have good field position, making sure that, you know, if we can get some touchdowns, great, let's get some touchdowns. But we need to make sure that our offensive weapon, the Spicy Leg Pepe, is in position to kick those field goals that we're going to need.
God, that name.
It's evolved.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you know, that he is, I mean, as unfortunate it is to say that, like, our kicker is our.
Why did he put that out there? Oh Lord.
There you go, Daryl. You already know.
Wow.
If we lose, it's on you, brother.
It's on you, bro.
Crazy.
It's been put out in the universe already.
Yep.
I'm just gonna take a leave of absence from the group because that's insane. I ain't mess with nobody, and I can't look. I got the over and under earlier. I got the.
Yep.
I beg to differ.
Hey,
if I make the tailgate, we win. That's what he's saying.
Cool. That's what he's saying.
Hey,
so I guess we winning then.
He didn't say how long. He'd be there for 5 minutes, man.
Yep.
He just need to make an appearance.
Make
just get a taco.
And
Help
you're
break-
making
Here come
it
the
work
next,
out.
the next.
Eat
I
a
can hear
taco.
the next comment coming. I
Yep.
got to be there for a certain amount of time. I know.
Nope, nope,
No,
nope. We're
it's
putting a cap
already
on all that.
we already said it.
Oh,
You
too
can-
late, Robert. Too
One-
late, dude.
one taco and help break down, and you're good.
Yep.
And maybe some spicy ketchup.
Yeah,
There
some
you go.
spicy ketchup. You got to try it.
Jackie, I'm not doing no spicy ketchup.
So
And see, and this is one thing to remember right here. What Donna said: Guardians putting a hurt on DC. Anything is possible, and that is absolutely true.
Honestly,
Yep.
I think that we probably have. I think I'm thinking that we're gonna have the upset of the week. Honestly,
Yep.
that's what I'm thinking. Because you
Showdown
got
number 2.
other than Vegas and St. Louis, I think Vegas is going to beat St. Louis in St. Louis. I think they're going to win. But besides that game, I think our game is probably going to be the upset of the week. If we can come away with this win, it'll be upset of the week, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So real quick, definitely want to have a shout out to our athletic trainers and everything that are
Oh yeah, for
healing
sure.
up our guys
For
and
sure.
keeping our guys in fighting shape. Right, you guys
Yes.
are the unsung heroes of the team, and
sure.
we don't want you to think that we don't appreciate what you're doing. So
And
keep
equipment people.
and equipment people, yes.
Yeah.
So
All support
guys,
staff.
yep.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting for the team. Do your part because it does make a difference, right? Some people might think,
Mhm.
oh, well, a trainer on the side taking somebody into the tent, wrapping them up, no big deal, right? No, it is a very big deal.
They are angels for our players.
Yeah, we see you.
People making sure that the radio equipment is working so the quarterback can hear what's going on, or the wide receivers know the plays, or I'm sorry, the plays. It's crucial. Everybody plays a crucial role on the team. So guys, you may not get all the kudos and the accolades and the applause and everything as the players do on the field, but you are just as important as the brightest star player on the team. So guys, thank you
Absolutely.
for your commitment to the team.
Especially
and the marketing team. The marketing team. Don't forget them.
Yeah, the marketing team too. Yep.
Right there.
For getting the community riled up and getting us all to get no, not me. No. I am not official. I am not an official marketing employee of the Brahmas. Not yet, at least. Hopefully, hey.
Yeah, you're not yet, but
If you need some help, Brahmas, you literally have my number. So
season two.
But no, like especially my boy Andres Armstrong, one of the trainers. I see you on Instagram, man, and you and your team are busting your tail, and I appreciate you guys very much.
Man,
it's hot in here, guys. I don't.
My nose itching.
Got a little scratch.
But man, you guys are making me blush here. But no, I mean seriously, like I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna keep making sure that the city and the league and the team knows that we're behind them. And if it takes the mariachi to do so, trust me, I will do everything in my power to make sure that they know. I know the players' families definitely know that we're behind them. Just based off of talking to them. And so shout out to the Tongamoa family, to the Duggar family, to the Romo family, to every family that I've met. You guys have been awesome, and I just want you all to know, if you guys are watching or end up watching this back, that your sons are in good hands in our community.
Huh? You're an angel, huh?
The angel.
Angel of death.
Hey, I didn't say.
Don't you dare talk about Donna that way, Jay. Don't you dare.
Oh no, I already know. I just signed my own warrant right there. So yeah,
I didn't say it this time.
I
agree, but I didn't say it.
Nothing but love, Donna. Nothing but love.
I got you, Donna. Don't worry. I'll hold it down.
Okay. Any other predictions for Sunday's game?
That's so we're walking out with the win. That's about it.
What are we looking at attendance wise? What are you guys thinking?
I'm gonna put it at about 15.
Yeah, I'd say 15, 16 tops, if that.
I'm gonna push it higher. I'm gonna
Okay.
say probably about 18 or so. We know that there's a lot of city employees that are interested in going to this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of connections between, the Alamo Dome staff and city workers and, just all those people. I'm pushing 18.
I would love to see it at 18.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that I personally have gotten multiple messages from people trying to give away sets of tickets, which is what makes me guess a little bit of a lower number. Again, I know San Antonio was expected to be one of the highest attended games, which as of right now, next to St. Louis, despite our horrible scheduling, we still are.
Yep.
But you also got to keep in mind we've only had 2 home games,
Yep.
one of which was by far the worst time of any team in the entire league. Um,
And we still brought
and
15K.
and we still brought 15K. Now we have an Easter Sunday game that is being held in a very religious city, that has, I don't ever want to say religion is working against us, but that is something that is, when it comes to attendance, that is something that we need to take into consideration. But I think we will see the full force of fans the next 2 weeks, especially if we come out with the win this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Because the next 2 weeks are going to be Saturday games. I know personally, for the Fiesta game, I might have anywhere from about 10 to 20 people that are coming from out of the area just to come to that game because of how much I've been hyping it up. And it's for me, it's actually really awesome because in the 5 years that I've been married to my wife, I have never heard her stepdad say, no, I want to go to San Antonio. Like, we were trying to get them to come out to Arlington because they live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But he said, no, I want to go to a game in San Antonio. And I'm like, okay, all right. So we got him. If I could get him hyped up to come to San Antonio from Tulsa, Oklahoma, then but there's nothing else, stopping me from getting more people hyped up to come out to that game. So I would love to see the Fiesta game at 40,000.
Open that top.
Yeah, that you'd have to at 40,000. The lower bowl won't even hold that many. So we'd have to do like what the Battle Chickens did and open up the upper bowl center sections.
Yeah,
Clubs.
and I know that's looking ahead 2 weeks, but I mean, I think if there's a game to do it and show St. Louis, like, yeah, have fun with the silver medal again, it's going to be that game.
Wow.
But it's also going to come down to
Throwing them
how we
jabs,
perform
baby.
these next 2 weeks. It's going to come down to how we play the next 2 weeks. If we play well, then we will do it, but if we don't, then, I just don't see it happening.
So
Well,
from Ticketmaster, if everybody shows up, I'm looking at probably between 16 and 18. If everybody show up
This week.
Yeah.
He counted all the dots that
I
were
counted all the
empty.
dots. Yeah.
One
Man.
at a time.
I wish I had
And
that
that's why
kind of
he's
time.
late to the game.
2, 3.
So yeah, I think a lot of this comes down to how a lot of things come down to how the team plays this week, right? Our playoff chances, our attendance numbers, just traction in the city here in general, right? We have to show up and we have to get this win. Last week was a must-win situation. This is an absolute must-win situation. So let's show up. Let's show out for our team. Let's let them know that we're there. Let's be loud as hell when our team is on defense. Let's be quiet and no wave when our team is on offense, right? I want to hear a pin drop.
Section 108 I will make sure that we end that wave if it happens during offense.
We got to stop the waves, man.
Yep.
The
No
wave
waves.
is cursed.
No flashlights on camera phones, none of that stuff. Football etiquette, that's one thing that absolutely drives me crazy. It's, again, being the oldest fan here, right? And being a fan of, a certain team up north, because we were told not to use that name. A certain team up north in the 80s when they were the absolute worst in the NFL. They were the Cleveland
Packers.
Browns. You weren't supposed to say it. But yeah. Okay. You got to know what works and what doesn't, what helps your team and what doesn't. And
I own the team. I can say it.
Bro, shareholder
my
right
God.
here too. Shareholder right here too. Okay. That was actually my most important Christmas gift 2 years ago. Right. But you got to know what helps your team. So on offense, you guys, we've talked about it ad nauseum. We've fought about it on Facebook and everything, but you have to understand, if you're making noise when your team is trying to call out a play and the wide receiver cannot hear what the quarterback is saying, or the offensive line doesn't hear an audible shift, that could seriously hurt your team, right? Doing the wave, you think maybe it doesn't matter because you're not making noise, right? It's movement. It distracts the quarterback and the receivers. It distracts the running backs, right?
Yep.
So you guys got to be cool. Like, work with us so the team can do their thing so that you can celebrate that win with them. Okay?
On defense, go wild. They love that. Defense players love that. Offense, they're a little bit more delicate. You got to be more careful with the offense.
Yes. So back to predictions. I predict a win. I predict 18,000 at the game. I predict it being, as DJ said, the upset of the week. And I see it as being that pivotal moment that turns our fate around and that at least gets us into the table at the playoff game.
It'll be a shift.
Look, Houston 4-3. They can
Downward spiral.
So if we beat them, they'll be
4-4.
Yep.
4-4.
That's what I'm saying. So we got an opportunity, man.
Yep.
We got the opportunity.
If Arlington loses, then that just helps us out even more. But
Orlando's not out, so
Orlando's also not out.
So that next game would be big. Next week would be big.
No, but I mean, depending on how things go, the best they can do is get to second. So I don't see them overtaking the league.
No.
So
Orlando?
Yeah. I don't see them getting up to first place in the South. But that's just my predictions.
No, they mathematically can't.
Yep.
That's simple addition.
Well, I mean, it depends on what Houston does, because they can win, they can lose the last three.
Yeah, but that means
they'll be 4-6.
If they lose the last three, that means that San Antonio's up on one. So, because there's division games, Orlando, we're their next game, so they'd have to beat
division games.
They have to beat us too. So
the best thing is tie for first.
Yeah, but the thing is that we beat Houston, then we beat Orlando. We're at that point we're tops of the division, so we're close to the top of the division. We overtake Arlington. If Arlington keeps playing their dumb OU football like they are doing, then
so we'll be 4-5 if we beat Houston and Orlando. We'll be 4-5,
right? And we can finish the season at 500 and make the playoffs. And believe me when I tell you this, it is not impossible to go and win a championship with a losing season, because one of my teams in another sports league has done that. Real Salt Lake did that in 2009. They made the playoffs off of a technicality with a losing season and won the championship that year.
Oh, so it can happen. The NFC South had below 500 teams and they was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can happen.
It can definitely happen.
It's now football, anything
that team didn't win the championship, but
you can make the playoffs. Yeah,
you can make the playoffs. I'm saying we can go in there with a 500 or sub 500 record and then go run the table in the playoffs and win the championship and be a Cinderella story. Yes, the people will make jokes about the XFL saying, "Oh, a losing team won the championship." Shows you how much that league is, but it's all
you got to think about you think about the road that they took to get here. That's all that matters.
Yeah, they put in the work.
Exactly.
Yep. So, so my final prediction is I think 15,000 show up, and San Antonio wins if the defense shows up. Otherwise, if we play like we did in Vegas, that's going to be a Houston win.
Yeah. Everything is riding on defense. So
offense. Defense going to give you that, because our defense is still the number one scoring defense in the league. So we are still still have a great defense, but it's all riding on the offense. Whether we can produce points, we need to produce points.
Right.
They've just got to show up.
Yes,
So
they do. But I mean, that says a lot though, because people they sleeping on that. They like, oh, as it when we got a terrible record, but we still got the number 1 scoring defense in the league. So
a lot of teams are overlooking the Brahmas because of the record. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, I think that should wrap it up for tonight.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Y'all
just
talk so
flew-
much.
Just flew by. And so those of you who are going out to meet the team, any of the meet the team events, make sure give them support. Make sure you show them support, especially if you're going to Dick's Sporting Goods. There's going to be a particular someone who could absolutely use some support, a hug, whatever it may be. Let's make sure we got his back. He knows that.
Don't hug him too hard and hurt him. We need him on Sunday.
Yeah.
Be gentle with him.
But I will absolutely see everybody there Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday to everybody. And you guys, I'll see you guys this weekend.
Definitely.
Peace out.
All right.
Forward, baby.
Horns forward, everybody.
Horns forward, everybody.